when we end a relationship, we had a boyfriend or a girlfriend, and the relationship was toxic. And then you obviously, some people do stay alone, but the aim is to get into another relationship. But I am going to give you a few tips for when you are ready to start a new relationship. Welcome to another episode of Heal Me, Healing You. I was in a program the other day from my colleague Hoida from the UK, and she asked me a few questions that allow me to have some reflective thoughts about what happened when you end a relationship. As you all know, I don't know if you all were following me from before. If not, go and catch my previous videos, and you will see that I was in a toxic relationship in where I was emotionally, verbally, financially, and physically abused. And when I ended that relationship, I made a few mistakes that I am going to list. My first mistake that I made was that I set boundaries that I didn't need. I came out of that relationship feeling hurt, and I felt defensive. Every time somebody asks me a question about, hi, how was your day? I will be like, why you asking me? Why you asking me? Why you asking me my business? And I was defensive every time because in my previous relationship, I was very controlled. I was questioning about where I go in, at what time I leave, at what time, and it was not for them being protected, but they were so insecure of themselves that they was projecting on me, and they wanted to control my every move. And believe me, even if I tell the person where I was, they used to make it better. They used to make him come where I was and try to embarrass me, making people believe that I am always outside and that I blah blah blah. You all know the whole I don't want to make the video too long, but you all know how it goes. And the second thing I did, besides setting boundaries that I didn't need it, I built walls that I wanted nobody to come close to me, and I didn't allow myself to get close. Even I told my current husband if he proposed marriage, I was going to done with him because I didn't want it to ever marry, because I was thinking about my previous relationship. But I really wanted affection, but I was so hurt by my previous relationship that I didn't want nobody to ask me to marry me, because I only wanted sex. Let us have fun, and I don't want to get close to you. But what I was really saying, that in my previous relationship, I was so hurt that I didn't want nobody to get close to me like that to hurt me again. You hate things that you used to love, and you start to feel that you hate things about yourself, when actually you just saying the previous person hurt me so much that I don't know who I am anymore. And that is why I recommend people that if you come up from a previous relationship, the first thing that you need to do is stay alone for a little bit. And I am not saying to become this hermit that don't go out anymore and don't talk to nobody. I am saying that you need to have a little pause time to acknowledge what just happened to you, and acknowledge how it affected you and how it continued to affect you. Because if you don't fully digest what just happened to you, you are going to carry all that garbage continuously to other relationships, and you are going to be arguing and making the next person pay. But I will tell you, I have that point coming. The fourth thing that I did is that I started to doubt myself. I started to doubt my abilities, because in that previous relationship, I was told a lot of things. I was told that I was no good, that I was not able to amount to nothing, that I was nothing without him, that I didn't have no financial knowledge or abilities, and that I was never going to be able to pay bills and be independent, because I was stupid and I was a foreigner, because as you all know, I was born in Venezuela. All those things were told to me, and I start to doubt myself too. to the point that I used to tell my friends I couldn't do better. And I believe that, and I start to seek relationships of people who were inferior to me because I came up with the belief that I didn't deserve more better. And to be honest, I had a high self-worth because of all the things I've been through and all the battles I have been able to win. I was able to create my own independence, and today when I look at myself, I see all what I built by the grace of God, and with my single hands I could see that I have been in an upward journey. And the last thing, sorry, I'm looking at my notes I did. And the final thing I did was that I started to bleed over people who didn't cut me. And that is what I was saying previously, that I start to treat people bad. I start to treat people bad. I start to, everybody in my environment was my enemy. To the point where I managed to spoil my relationship, my job, my everything. Everything what I had built with my hands, I mash it up with my feet. I start treating everybody, and I thank God that my husband stick around, because the first 2 years of our marriage was hell. And honestly, after he and I spoke, he told me he never thought that we would have survived those 2 years. And today we are married 13 years. And that qualified me to speak to you, because I know that I had to give myself permission to be happy again. And I self-sabotage my relationships. After I came out from because there was more than one, I have daddy issues. Therefore, I used to seek validation and love and guidance from my partners. And I was always going with older folks because I was looking for my daddy's affection. But that is another video for another day. But what I'm saying is that I was seeking for validation from my partner. I was constantly asking them to make me happy when my happiness is not nobody's job. And furthermore, no matter how much that person do to you, that person could bring you flowers today, and then tomorrow you will find something else to be miserable about, because your happiness is about you and the relationship that you have with yourself. But coming out from abusive relationship, that water gets a little bit tinted, and you tend to don't realize that what you're seeking is really inside of you. And I am a Christian. I will move even deeper to say that that love that you are seeking and you are wanted from other people, that is your relationship with God that you want to establish, because no human being can fail you. And nobody can fail that sport, not even your children, because I realize my children are like way gone from my environment where I could experience the joy of having children, because they are big. Acknowledge how it made you feel, how you are reacting to it. If you need to be sad, you can be sad. Don't be depressed, but allow yourself to be sad. Sad is an emotion, and let it run through your body. You can look for the videos how you can let this sadness, if you need to cry for 3 days, for a week, for a month, cry. And allow that emotion to run through your body. If you feel angry, look for the videos in YouTube, how to express your anger in a healthy way. And if you need to scream, if you need to shout, if you need to go at places where you can go and break up stuff, and you can do that. If you need to go to a beach and pelt stones and whatever, do it. Do it, and allow your body to express all those emotions that you're feeling. And then after, please gather yourself. Gather yourself and start to acknowledge that God loves you, first of all, and that you are perfect, and that because that relationship will leave you feeling like you're not worth it. And the next thing that I did was start to look. I start to sleep with everybody. And I start to look for love. And I was like, it's not this one. I dropped this one. I went to the next one, and no, maybe not this one. It's this one. And believe me, people will start to come, and you will start to attract demons. And that is another video for another day, because they are predators out there looking for people, especially if you have a great purpose in God. Believe me, demons will come, because they came to me by so many. To a moment when I wake up from what I was doing, I was like, just let me take a minute. I realized that this is not working, and I start to gather myself, and then I start to build myself in the word, and I start to gain my own. I start to see me, my own worth, and not be based on the words that was told to me and all those things that was resonating in my mind. And I gather myself, and I start to think maybe nothing is wrong with me. Because if somebody abused you, it's not your fault. And you start to believe that maybe I triggered it. Or maybe, no, that person is abusive and he will abuse another person after you. It's have nothing to do with you. It's about that person. And I want you to look at yourself in the mirror and start to love yourself again. Because if you don't do that, first you will make the first mistake I made, that you will go and sleep with everyone. And believe me, it's not going to work. You will go from relationship to relationship to relationship to relationship. And I am not telling you something that is special to me or to you. That is how we human beings, we react like that. We start to find, I have a hole to fill and I need to fill it. And how you fill it with people. And it's not like that. I'm not telling you that nothing is wrong with you. That is normal human behavior. We are human being, we are human relations, and we will find the necessity to get somebody to cure what I'm feeling, and that does not work. I tried, it didn't work. And then I remember I was very promiscuous. I started to look for relationship, for love, and nothing worked until I found Christ. But for you, you will be a Muslim, you will be a Hindu, you will be, and I am telling you, my God works for me. And if your God is not working for you, then use mine. Mine freely gave. He died to give you life. Anyways, if you need further advice, maybe you could shoot me a message and I can give you more advice privately. But anyways, by the time, do me a favor. Go, drink water, and mind your business.